That breaking news now at 11. At least one person is dead tonight and a child is injured after two separate shootings here in Atlanta. I'm Blair Miller.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. Those shootings happening less than a mile apart from each other on MLK Jr. Drive and Joseph E. Boone Boulevard. That deadly shooting happening near a convenience store on Joseph E. Boone Boulevard. We're pressing police for more information on the victim as well as the shooter. And that deadly shooting happening less than a mile from where another person was shot and a child was hurt. Atlanta News First anchor Joe Gorcho is live near the intersection of MLK Jr. Drive and Pasco Boulevard. So, Joe, what can you tell us there?
Tracy, one of the lingering questions we have right now is if the shooting you were just describing with the fatal where that person died is somehow connected to what took place here. We're still working on confirming that, but our photographer who was filming at that other location said that sometime in the 9 o'clock hour, he saw several officers jump into their cruisers and race over to this scene here to begin investigating and responding to the shooting. You see that there are officers on scene right now still working on collecting evidence. The focus really is at that barbershop location right attached to Essential Market here on this corner. You see flashlights are still looking and examining what took place. Atlanta police have shared very limited information with that. One person was shot and that they took themselves to the hospital, and then that person is currently in stable condition. Also, additionally, a child was injured, not by a gunshot, by debris that came from the shooting as well. They're described as non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, we don't have the age of the child right now, but you can see that there's shattered glass in the area, there's a busted-out window, and we're just trying to get more information on the circumstances behind this shooting that took place earlier this evening and more on the circumstances and potentially if there's even more damage inside the barbershop and even Essential Market. But that's essentially what we know right now. We'll continue to work on getting more information. Again, the lingering question is, with these shootings just a half mile apart, is there any connection between the two? Certainly that's the big question here tonight that we're asking of Atlanta police. Tracy and Blair, back to you.
Yeah, very concerning to see both of these situations unfolding tonight. Thank you so much, Joe Gorcho, reporting live.